On today's show, stories of winter travel on skis. Up first, skiers set sail over the snow and through the air. We discover Minnesota's historic ski club. When snow flies, this guy gets to work by night so people can ski by day. And a bright Northwoods idea helps trail explorers slide through history by going back in time at night.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill, Millie and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound.
Today we share winter stories on skis, and up first, hobbyists fly into the fun.
That's right, skiers take off with a 100-year-old Minnesota ski club. They say skiing is the next best thing to having wings.
That's perfect right there. Hi-yo! I'm actually going to put him out right now. Ha-ha! Good in run, boosted. Yeah, buddy! Dude, stellar little ride. 56 years old and still crushing it. Yep.
This high-flying Minneapolis ski club, located off of Highway 494 in Bloomington, Minnesota, has been around for 100 years.
You're looking at behind me our big jump. This is what we're sort of famous for. This is the jump everybody drives by. But just to my left are the 3 junior hills where kids as young as 5 years old start learning how to do the sport. It's hard to believe anything was going on 100 years ago, much less something as crazy as this.
Crazy? Maybe. Yet others understand the need for speed.
Going about 52 miles an hour as you come down the hill, and the jump you need to make happens about a third of a second, right? So that is critical on how the rest of your jump goes. And so that's basically where we spend a lot of our time focusing on how is their technique through that third of a second.
Wind also helps skiers soar.
The lifting effect is incredible. The wind is consistently going about 15 miles an hour north and northwest and gusting like into the 20s. So if it's consistently 20 miles per hour, no problem. Like, that's ideal.
The passion for this ski jumping club runs deep. Every ski jump coach donates their time.
It's all volunteer. We're here because we love it. We're here because our kids do it.
Ski jump is the oldest thing on this plot of land. Everything else you see here, that light pole, these boards, that chalet, I built by hand in 2010, where we have a Olympic caliber facility.
Some club members have made it to the top of the sport.
We've created 10 Olympians over the years.
More than half of our club is girl and women jumpers. And it's just fabulous for the sport.
You don't need Olympic potential to join the fun.
I stopped in and said, is that something I can do? And they gave me a pair of skis and a helmet and boots, and there I went. And I started on the 28 meter for the first time. And the rest is history. I never stopped since.
Any age, young and old, is invited to give it a try.
Anyone can come out and learn to fly.
I don't care if you're 4 or 44. We'll start you on the same jump.
If they can jump, what about me?
The takeoff is a foot off the ground.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
For each step of the way, there's an incremental increase in the size of the hill. Your hands up on your hips, just like that. Your tips get to the end of the jump, that's when you stand up and jump. World Cup, here you come.
It was fun, super fun. You could definitely feel like the adrenaline just going off that thing.
Yeah.
Remember, your wings already exist. All you have to do is fly.
So satisfying and so exciting to be traveling that fast and to be in the air for that long. It's the only sport in the world that gives you that feeling. And our goal is to make sure that for the next 50 years and the next 100 years that that's the same thing that's happening.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, VMC Hooks, Leech Lake Area Tourism, and by Voyager Lodge and Houseboats.
Up next, we visit one local ski resort where a winter blizzard keeps the team busy.
They're talking we're supposed to get like the storm of the century. Probably have already had about 6 to 8 fall. We're supposed to get like another 10 to 12. Hopefully that's true, because who doesn't like a powder day in Minnesota or Wisconsin? We're getting out here before like it really starts to get heavy, so we can get a nice smooth surface underneath that fresh snow that's gonna fall. And it's amazing what these machines can do too, you know, or the ultimate dream of having the kid in the sandbox playing with his Tonka toys and hopefully get to enjoy it after.
Powder Day! What's happening? It's a beautiful day at Trollhaugen, man.
Powder days like this in the Midwest are few and far between, and this one is 10 out of 10. Top notch.
Champagne, as some would say. It's pretty good, pretty good. This is my 20th season.
This is my 18th season. Probably count them on one hand almost. Probably
Yeah.
like maybe 6.
10-ish maybe at max. Not many.
We receive quite a bit of natural snow in 2 and 3 and 4 inches, but to have snowfall over 7 or 8 inches, especially at this like fluffy consistency, is super rare. So we are always answering to our fans, and when there's a POW day like this, they want it ungroomed. So the boys came in extra early to groom right away, and then everything that was left after that is for all of these happy faces here today. I am the marketing director here at Trollhugin.
You get to go snowboarding. Smile. We'll set it down there and then we'll just shimmy the sides. All right, safe words, pumpkin. Took a quick 2-hour nap in ski patrol last night. We were done at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And we gotta have a slumber party. I mean, come on. That's not like a normal occurrence.
So far at Trollhaugen this year, we've had 63 inches of natural snowfall, which since I've worked here, that's the most that I can ever remember. So everyone's been really happy this year with snowfall. Not to mention, we have a really amazing snowmaking system. So even if your backyard isn't looking the snowiest, guarantee your Midwest ski resorts are always gonna have snow.
Still ahead, we go back in time to explore winter waterfalls. But first, a bright idea keeps skiers on the trail all evening. Find out where next.
Closed captioning provided by Star Bank.
Up next, we head north to the edge of the Boundary Waters, where cross-country skiing remains a sport not only by day, but also by night.
Minnesota's winter solstice might be short on sunlight, but days of fun last long up here. Golden Eagle Lodge, a Boundary Waters resort with a suddenly bright future.
It's winter wonderland and it's a little haven.
The sort of snowy destination where guests dream of Swick's blue forecasts. Days begin with owners Ruth Wagner and Zach Bauman
I like to call it the Eagle.
Oh, no.
and their newest resort addition.
I'm ready. People are really turning back to winter sport, outdoor sport, and that's a really cool thing to see.
Exactly why Ruth rolls along at a lumbering 5 miles an hour.
It's a whole different world. It's clean, it's pristine, it's unforgettable. We have 70 kilometers of ski trail. Our whole system we co-own with Bearskin Lodge.
A web of trails winding through a remote Superior National Forest.
I love getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning just to be out there by yourself, and you see the moose tracks, the wolf tracks, the otter tracks.
And of course, those pristine impressions Ruth leaves behind. Cold nirvana to those who explore on Nordic skis. Especially that moment when darkness slowly drowns out daylight.
It's just kind of mesmerizing.
Classic kerosene-fired lights.
They are for sure iconic for the lodge.
A Golden Eagle winter tradition started by Zach's grandparents.
They'd ski around every night and light those lanterns and ski around every night and put them out, and then they had to clean them constantly.
Over time, the bright idea slowly faded away. Until newlyweds Zach and Ruth took over the lodge late last year.
I knew the lanterns existed, but I saw them for myself, and I was like, Zach, we got to do something with this.
Together, they brainstormed a new bright idea.
People love them.
Now wired with LED technology.
You get that bop, 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 bop right down the line, and you can see the snow, you can see the track, and you can just go.
Sue Hankey's ski crew remembers the old lanterns.
And it was magical, absolutely magical.
Exactly why Golden Eagle brought back such simple pieces of Northwoods lore.
It just brings us right back.
It'll get me out there again.
Yeah.
I gave up on it.
It just makes you feel like you're away from it all and really close to the night of nature.
We knew there was a lit trail, which we were very excited about, but we didn't know about these specific lanterns.
These lights keep the Joes family up at night. Mostly trying to keep up with the 5-year-old.
Mama, I just like skiing so much downhill doing they go fast. So I love fasting at heights. So
I love it. It's amazing.
It's the coolest thing like in the world you could ever experience.
Yeah.
This is not what most people get to experience, and I get to experience this every day.
You can too, if you show up. And don't worry, they'll leave the light on, or 2 or 3.
Just being out there at night when there's no wind, it's just dead calm. You can just hear the snowflakes. The lanterns are their own awesome experience.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Flow Docks and Lifts, Midwest Exteriors MN, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Today's Minnesota Bound Classic takes Belinda Jensen all the way back to 2001.
To the day she decided to explore the North Shore's waterfalls via skis.
The North Shore, a magnificent place with a great lake, which is replenished every moment by roughly 50 streams and raging rivers. In the summer months, the river offers many obvious pleasures. But what about those frozen months? Well, now it's the dead of winter on the North Shore, so what do you do to enjoy all these rivers that go down to the beautiful Lake Superior? Well, you just ski down them, but first I thought maybe we'd learn how.
And you can feel how much more control that might have over a traditional cross-country ski. You've got a lot more lateral support if you picked up your ski, pick it up off the ground and twist it, the ski doesn't twist on your foot like a cross-country ski would. It gives you a lot more ability, one, to just kind of go through a lot of different terrain, and next to be able to turn as you might encounter some steeper portions.
Tom Healy, along with the other folks in our group, are no strangers to those so-called steeper portions. What they mean are frozen waterfalls, and they love them. We chose the frozen Onion River, and we started about a mile from the lake with a vertical drop of a few hundred feet.
Well, we've come to the river, and what we want to do is make sure that we keep the whole group within communication distance of each other. We don't want to get all spread out along the river. We've got about 8 people along today.
Well, Tom, the biggest challenge I see is how do we get from the cliff down to the river?
How do we get from here down into the river? That's a great question.
Everyone had their own style. Some much more graceful than others.
Love it. That's great.
It'll be relatively flat, and then the elevation drops will come in the form of cascades and small falls and so forth.
Our group consisted of a couple of gung-ho telemark skiers, a father and his daughter who's on the Grand Marais High School ski team, and a couple of snowshoers that were tagging along with Keely, my big snow-loving dog.
We're at a small cascade here, and we have some open water directly below us, just a small little area, and off to the left tends to be a little bit thinner. What we'll try to do is get all the skiers down off to the right, and that'll be in a variety of different fashions.
After my first waterfall, I was pretty much ready for anything, and on our journey, we ran into it. Lots of cascades, big and small, boulders, fallen logs, and lots of open water. And all along the way, remembering that other than a few short weeks in the winter when conditions are right, the only way you would have this perspective is if you grew gills.
The areas you see, canyons and rocks and ice flows and the snow and the green trees, it's something kind of magical and special because it's beauty that's more subtle and yet at times really dramatic. Big cliffs and ice flows.
We ran into some nice powder near the end, and some of our skiers decided to take advantage of it. At the end of our journey, the skiers all abided by the local tradition of dipping the tips of their skis in the big chilly lake. And it was a tribute to the great day that we had on the frozen Onion River. From the North Shore, this is Belinda Jensen.
So fun. I hope we get enough snow and cold so we can enjoy that adventure this year.
Fingers are crossed.
Absolutely. Well, that about does it for us. We'll see you back here next week.
In the meantime, remember to introduce a kid to the great outdoors. Hopefully go skiing.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433.